Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I have created several playlists to cover various categories of the problems such as trees, graphs, tries, linked list, binary search, sorting, dynamic programming and so on. So please check them out. I have uploaded the code for this problem to GitHub repository. You can get the link from description section below this video. Let's jump into today's problem. Number of students doing homework at a given time. Given two integer arrays, start time and end time, and given an integer query time. The ith student started doing their work at the time start time I and finished at time end time I. Return the number of students doing their homework at time query time. More formally, return the number of students where query time lays in the interval start time of I and end time of I inclusive. So basically we are given with two arrays, right? Two integer arrays, start time and end time, right? And the other input that we were given is the query time. So now we need to find at the query time how many students are doing their homework. So basically if for a student I, right, the start time is mentioned in the start time array, end time is mentioned in the end time array. So query time is some another integer. If the query time falls between the start time and end time, right, inclusive, basically lays interval start time and end time inclusive, then we will say okay, this student is doing the homework between that start time and end time, right? So the query time falls between the start time and end time, right? So that's what. So how many students fall into that query time where start time and end time lies between the between it, right? So that's what we need to find out. So let's try to understand with an example, right? Start time and end time. So this is start time I'll call, and this is end time, right? So let's put light below it, right? So now what is the query time? Query time is 4, right? So now we will keep a counter, right? Counter is equal to 0, right? So we will keep an index. So the 0 is the index 1 and 3. So he is doing between 1 and 3. So does 4 fall between 1 and 3? Not really, right? And this guy is 2, 2. Start time and end time is same for this guy. So it doesn't fall between 4. So for this guy, he starts at 3 and goes until 7. So he starts at 3 and goes until 7, right? So 4 falls in between 3 and 7. So we'll say, we'll increment this counter 1, right? So we are reached the end of the array. So we will say this is the answer, right? So basically the query time should fall in between the start time and end time. So there is not a big logic over here. So all we need to check is the query time greater than or equal to start time, and query time should be greater than less than or equal to end time, because it was said inclusive. So even if it is, let's say if it was 3, let's say, right? So if it was 3, then this student, the student 0 would fall into the 3 category. Of course this guy wouldn't fall. This guy would fall because he's starting at 3, right? So now the answer for that, it will be 2, right? So that's the reason why it's inclusive. This is an important hint here. We need to consider the equals operation also. So we just checking greater than and less than is not enough. So we need to use the greater than or equals and less than or equals, right? So that's why we are going to put the condition and verify whether the query time really falls between the start time and end time, right? So let's go ahead and look at the code, right? So first I am getting n, that is the start time length, right? So we know that for every student, right, if there is a start time, there should be an end time. So we don't have to verify whether end time length is equal to n or not or whatsoever, right? So they should be equal. So I'm getting n, and count is equal to 0 to start with. So now I am going from 0 to n and checking whether start time less than or equal to query time, and query time is less than or equal to end time. If this is the condition satisfying, right, I'll increment it, the counter. Finally, just return the counter. That's it. So this is a very simple code, and you should get it working very quickly, right? So now let's go ahead and look at the time complexity for this, right? And then we will look at the space also. Time complexity. So we know there are n students, right? There are n students for which we are given with start time and end time. So we are going through the entire array once. So that means we will have the time complexity is order of n. And space complexity, are we using any space here? Yes, we are using n and count. That's it. But only these are two local variables, nothing much. So local variable space will be considered as constant space. So this algorithm, we will say it uses constant space, and the denotation is order of 1, right? So order of 1. So this particular algorithm is order of n time and order of 1 space algorithm. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I have posted the code to GitHub repository in 2 languages, C# and Java. You can find the link in the description below this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Also share my channel among your friends. Please click on the bell icon so that you will be notified about all my future videos. Thank you for watching. I will be back with another video very soon. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.